Back to my mental health and crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for educational purpose only. This is the case of Jay Slater. I'd like to start by thanking all my subscribers, viewers. I hope everyone's having a pleasant week. And this is for educational purpose only. My channel is a reaction channel. So I really wanted to react about some nonsense that has been going on in poor Jay Slater's case. We all are here in true crime to represent the victims, to be mindful, to have boundaries, and not to drag in people that don't belong in the case, because that is defamation of someone's whole reputation. So I'll explain to you the reason I'm calling out a psychic she does tarot reading 111, and she has a true crime channel, True Crime 111 or 111, whatever it's called. Point being, we want justice for Jay Slater. But it's very wrong. It's wrong to add people that do not belong in this case. True Crime 111 has been doing this in AYUB case. The AYUB case is a case I've been following from the second the news broke out. I've been taking very personally because these are 4 young people who lost their lives in a very horrific manner. They need respect, mindfulness. We need to consider their families no matter what. True crime has just been speculating, like all of us actually, which is completely not a problem. To get to the facts, you have to speculate a bit. But she decided to read the 4chan article of the Sigma Chi fraternity boys, which many of us have done. But she decided to read a certain page that nobody has ever done before. She decided not even blank it out. She decided to read it out as it was. 4chan is just a hopeless nonsense app. It carries no facts. It can be true, but there's no facts to back it up. So she read it like it was. They cussed and said bad things about Kaylee's mother, calling her overweight, calling her alcoholic. And they were cussing Kaylee, body shaming Kaylee, talking bad about Maddie. Really bad that I don't have the heart to repeat these things. Really disgusting things. But True Crime 111 or 111 decided no matter what to go along with it. That just brings out the character in us YouTube creators. When you are covering a case, follow the facts. Speculate if you want to. We all do that. But when you go to a stage where you read people's nonsense of body shaming 4 young, beautiful victims that lost their life in a horrific manner, then it's a problem. The same is happening in Jay Slater's case. She's doing all this for clicks and clickbait, views, and everyone's entitled to do what they do. But defamation is not allowed. By law, you could be sued. This woman is touching on big rappers, songwriters, authors, producers, musicians like Big Nasty. What was his name? PAYPER, Porter Paper, and other celebrities that are actually YouTube creators like her. Jay Slater was last seen with AYUB and Rocky. We don't know if he ever made it to Moscow. I've always said I personally do not believe he made it to Moscow. There was a talk about watches, an AP watch, but there was no facts to that. And I'm a true crime channel, a licensed mental health counselor that follows my facts. So it's important that we stick to the facts, because then we are not getting justice for Jay. We are just creating nonsense and more hurt for the family. The family's hurt and pain is important for everyone. I take it extremely important. I take it extremely important because I'm a mental health counselor. So I know what bereavement is about. When someone loses someone, it's a very heartbreaking thing. Families go through a turmoil. It's hard for them. It affects their daily life. It affects their future. Everything is destroyed, especially when it's a young boy like Jay Slater or Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. So if we do not put respect on Jay's family's name and on Jay's name, then we are not searching for justice. We are searching for just making views and clicks, which we should say out directly. I'm making this because it's just a guessing clip. I'm just guessing, and I'm going to point our fingers and accuse all the rappers in UK, in London. Unless you're doing that, there's no point of bringing these rappers and this mix, because you're searching for a boat that you believe Jay Slater was put in. This has been going on for a while, guys. And if I don't react as a YouTube creator, which I'm entitled to, then it's a problem, because the reason I'm reacting to this is so many people have emailed me, close subscribers of mine. Many have written it in my comment channel asking me to clarify everything the tirade reader, Mamadi, I guess, does. Whatever she's putting out there is just making it more difficult for other creators, especially me. Because this has been going on for weeks and weeks. When I was in Antalya, Turkey, 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago on a vacation, I saw so many people asking me, sending me messages, asking me, is it true? Asking me if Big Nasty's involved. This is a guy who's worth a couple of millions. This is a guy who's friends with Ed Sheeran, the famous soul singer, musician, R&B singer, and Ed Sheeran is the godfather to his youngest child. They've been friends since they were 14, 15 years old. What does Big Nasty have to do with this? Is a question. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What does Paperboy or Paper Potter have to do with this? Sorry, Paperboy is another group I remember in Norway, a rap group. Well, what does Potter Paper or Paper Potter got to do with this? Besides the fact that he knows AYUB. Now, the classic is when people, all of us, are not sure of especially someone's color of their skin, because I'm a colored woman. I'm a black woman. And if you don't know much about culture, color, people in general, about their traditions, their culture, their color, skin color, everything, then I would advise you go learn. Do a bit of research before you come on YouTube and create nonsense. This is under fair use purpose. I'm not going to be using her video because I don't want any copy strike, but I'm reacting and sharing my thoughts and my opinions about what I see. When I went to university, we were always taught to do our research to make sure what we're saying is the facts, which is extremely important. Otherwise, you get yourself into a lawsuit. Now, Now watch this picture clearly. If you remember, everyone following the J. Slater case, that's AYUB clearly, with his hands in his pocket. Two friends of his, one smoking, the other one pretending or something to do with seeing. Whatever signals they're making is not important for me right now. What is important for me is, before pointing fingers, true crime 11 or 111, you need to learn a bit about people's skin colors. AYUB is a Somalian man. Not Mali, Somali. Somalis, I'm a Somalian originally. We have dark shade, light shade. We have all kinds of shades. AYUB has the typical Somalian shade, the color. Now you have Potter Paper, the light skin rapper that you see above. What is interesting is that Potter Paper is a mixed race man. He's half Algerian, that's Northern American, but they look like Arabs. And his mother is Irish. I repeat, Irish. So that's a mixed race man. They don't even have the same smile. They don't have the same skin tone. AYUB said that was him on the picture, and that is AYUB. If I thought that was anyone else but AYUB, I would have been the first person to point it out. Because up to today, I believe that AYUB has a lot of explaining to do. What was a 31-year-old man or men doing with a 19-year-old young J. Slater is a question. Definitely. Was Jay ever taken to Moscow? Question mark. I personally do not believe. I believe that Jay was set up in Tenerife by his own friends or so-called friends, Brad, Lucy, Brandon. AYUB and Rocky, whatever role they played in it, is significant here. And it needs to be investigated. The Spanish police ruled them out. I wonder if the UK police ruled them out. This is an ex-con, so it's easy for the UK police to do their work properly and know if he was involved, or if Potter Paper was involved, or if Big Nasty was involved, etc. But to accuse a famous rapper in the UK, Potter Paper, of being an ex-con called AYUB Qasim, although they spent time together, although he worked for him allegedly or not, is not right. Because that is defamation. Potter Paper should sue you. And so should Big Nasty. True crime. 1111. This is not a psychic reading, and this is not a guessing game. Talk about AYUB. You have every right, because AYUB is a red flag, walking red flag. Talk about Rocky. Talk about Brandon. Where's Brandon, by the way? Nobody seems to be talking much about Brandon. Why don't you investigate why Brandon and Lucy May were not allowed into the pub That is a question mark. But to chase boats that have nothing to do with these rappers is completely wrong. And then True Crime 1111 is asking people if we think if Potter Paper was the one standing on the stone with those two little boys. Why would a famous rapper be standing on stones in Tenerife when he has a bright future ahead of him? Why would he be caught up in this mess? Question mark. AYUB said it's him. You can even see the smile clearly that they have two different smiles. Both of them have a nice set of teeth, white teeth, a bit different shapes, but the smile tells everything about a person. And then she insisted that it could be Potter Paper because of the beard, that AYUB doesn't have a beard. Now, True Crime 11, don't you know that men grow their beards and shave their beards? Or is that something new to you, allegedly? AYUB has beards on some pictures that we've seen. It's just that you're not looking hard enough. To accuse someone of standing on those stones like Potter Paper wasn't there is past defamation. It is literally, I'm starting to wonder, is this something to do with the UK black rappers that you're very interested in? And if it is so, you're more than welcome to do your video clips and your speculation like you want to, but stick to the facts, because then you should change your topic to UK rappers and not Jay Slater. We want justice for Jay. I repeat, we want justice for Jay. I think all these people need to answer. Brady with these big eyes that were literally black, which I showed a couple of days, and now Joseph Morris is showing it. People are not even saying where they got it from, strangely enough. But that is all cool with me. I just don't like the fact where this case is heading with Jay Slater. Because True Crime 11 is making it all about her channel, putting out clickbaits, bringing in rappers that are quite famous. Big Nasties with Ed Sheeran. He's always on the TV. He has a YouTube channel with 164,000K. Potter Paper has a channel too. These are your YouTube creators who work with you on different cases. Whatever they do, we all are in the YouTube world. Why put them down? These are musicians that can sue you. The story with the boat has gone too far. Yes, they have boat activities and boat entertainments in Tenerife. They have parties up on the roof in Tenerife. They have festivals everywhere in Tenerife. It's a known fact. What are we going to do? True Crime 11? Are we going to start accusing everyone who makes a single concert in Tenerife? That is defamation. Do your facts and find out the difference between a mixed race man who's half Algerian and half Irish and a Somali man who's from East Africa. Big difference. That is what research is about. Do your research before you come here and speak nonsense, because this is clearly nonsense. Continue investigating AYUB. You may get somewhere. Continue investigating Lucy Law, who was the closest to him. As for the AP Watch, True Crime, it was only Mark Thomas who said that. It was debunked many places and it was under investigation. Let me show you. Before I show you all the clip I'm about to show you all about the AP watch on the UK GB News, Great Britain News, let me show you all something. This is Big Nasty. He's a rapper, songwriter, author, producer, musician, television sponsor, or television influencer. He's sitting here with Craig Davids, the famous Craig Davids. So he does interview with different people. Ed Sheeran is his closest friend, like I've mentioned. So why would he have something to do, go all the way to Tenerife and destroy his name, reputation? He's a father with children, comedian, loved by many of his fans. So this is what PAYPER looks like. Like I mentioned, he's a rapper, songwriter, entertainer. He's mixed race. He's from Barking, East London. He's half Algerian and half Irish. I'm saying this to prove a point. Look at his skin color. Now that is AYUB Qasim. Look at his skin color. He's much darker. He has the Somali color. And PAYPER is really light in his skin. He's a mixed race man. That is him in the glasses. So this has nothing to do with research. True crime, can't you see the difference of the shades of the colors? Couldn't you go and do your research and find out one is from East Africa, the other one is a UK rapper whose mother is Irish and his father is Algerian. Algeria is next to Morocco. They look Arab, they're Arabs, but it is in the African continent. It is so important to study pictures, read things, research things before putting it out there. Because you're ruining people's reputation. If you want to ask AYUB any questions, I don't understand all these creators still so obsessed with the J. Slater case. We want justice. But if you want justice, bring AYUB for an interview. Bring him. Put him on the spot. Bring Rocky. Put him on the spot. But leave these big rappers and celebrities out of this because they have nothing to do with the mix. The Spanish police would have immediately questioned them if they were involved. That's common sense. True crime, why aren't you interested in this? I've showed this a week ago. Joseph Morris has spoken about it yesterday. But I've spoken about this at least 6 days ago, as soon as it came out. Why aren't you interested in finding out why Brad's eyes have circle? The black circle. Has he been punched down? What happened there is my question. I would be more interested in the facts and things that I see right in front of us. He looks like he's been in a fight. You should be focused about why it took 11 days for Jason and Brad to come and talk about his last conversation with Jay Slater. You should be focused on why Lucy May Law keeps on changing our timelines about when she called the police and when Jay called her or if she called Jay. You should be focused about AYUB, which you are, but you are focused about AYUB in a very wrong way. Find out his timeline. Talk about the boats if you want to. But why do you need to make this case any bigger than it is? Why are you bringing celebrities into the mix or rappers into this mix who have nothing to do with it. Even if they did a festival in Spain, in Tenerife, the authorities would have checked that. Look at Brad now, 11 days later. His eyes still have that circle that he's recovering, I believe. That's what I see him in, my opinion. It's important to say my opinion. It's just my humble opinion. But that was the first thing that caught my eye from the beginning. Not only his eyes, but the fact that he took 11 days to come to this interview. And when he spoke like he had no empathy. In my opinion, he didn't show any emotions. It seemed to him like it was all a big fat joke. Oh yeah, he was, Jay was calling me on the phone and he was like going off-road and such things, but he did not show any concern. His friend was missing for 11 days. He hid himself and then he comes out speaking carefree. If there was a fight in the beach, or if there was a fight that night, could the fight have been between Brad and Jay? Brad is friends with Lucy May and the young man Tom Hilton that Jay and his friends got charged for assaulting. Why is Brad's mother covering up everything? Why is she running the show? Obviously, she's there to protect her son. But the question is, has Brad done anything? Let's not forget it was Brad that was sharing the accommodation with Jay. May he rest in peace. Did a fight break out? Could something have happened in the hotel itself where they were sharing the accommodation? Did it turn into a cover-up? Did Jay actually lose a bag with drugs? There's no facts, but it's a good question that could make sense. Jay looks extremely worried here. Did he see something that he didn't like? Could he have seen Tom Hilton allegedly? Did he lose the bag? Is that why he looks so depressed? Or is it just that he's tired and dehydrated and he wants to call it a night, but none of his friends decided to take him home? Did they set him up? Was this a trap? Jay had his bag there, around his neck. The pot. Where did the pot go to? Did someone take it off him? Look at this reaction between Jay, Slater and Lucy May. That was hours before he went missing. Jay looks very concerned in his pictures. Did he sense that something was up? The poor kid.
Last seen walking up a mountain. Jay disappeared on Monday morning after leaving a small cottage in Masca. As the search entered its sixth day, Jay's mum, Debbie Duncan, revealed a witness went to cops and claimed to have seen the team sitting on a bench 3.5 miles away. She has vowed to stay on the island for as long as it takes until Jay is found. The sighting was, however, not yet officially confirmed. Jay was last seen walking up a path after asking a local woman about a bus back to his accommodation an 11-hour trek away. Moments before the interaction, Jay left two pals who he met at the NRG Dance Music Festival at their small Airbnb cottage. Search for Jay continues.
So the two men Jay went with to the Airbnb is AYUB and Rocky. that will make them the last people to see Jay alive. We have to focus on them. Brandon, who's not talking. Jay, his friend Brad, and Lucy. But let's leave the other people out of it. True crime. 11, that's unnecessary. I'm just worried for you and concerned for you because you're ruining all the cases in that manner. This is not psychic. We're dealing with true crime.
Doing our own things, by the way. Like, we weren't out together because I don't listen to like that music that they were playing in our NRG. Do you know what I mean? It's not my thing. We went somewhere else. We went to the AU.
This picture was a picture or a clip that, a recording that Brad and Jay recorded the night before Jay went missing, or on their stay in Tenerife. Pay attention to Brad's eyes. They look fine. There's no scars, no injuries, no marks on his eyes. This is for fair use purpose. Evil Exists has done an excellent job with this case. I'm using this under fair use purpose. This is what Lucy May Law said. I asked him, maybe him, to come back for ages. He was having none of it. After I went home, Brad then tried to get him home too, but he wasn't listening to him either. She's talking about Jay. May rest in peace. I think everyone has the impression we just left him, and that wasn't the case at all. He left the festival without telling us. I think that's a lie. Because Jay left with AYUB around 5 in the morning. So how could he have left before her without telling her? He left the festival without telling us. We looked for him for ages in there and then found him somewhere else. Why he left or went to go somewhere else, I still don't know. When I found him, I only spoke to him for a minute, telling him to come back, but he said he was staying out and to tell him to go and find him. I went home and presumed he would finish his night on the strip with everyone, and then they'd go home together. His hotel was only 5 minutes away in a taxi. I still don't get why he went there. So many questions and no answers. Just hope he's booping around wherever he is and he knows we all are looking for him and we all miss him. Doesn't sound like a message from a genuine friend. To start with, friends would stay with you through thin and thick. If you see a friend of yours or sister or brother or anyone, family member, friends, stranger even, especially your own family or friends, intoxicated and you all came together, you would make sure you'll go home back together, especially in a foreign country. Why would you take the chance of leaving a young 19-year-old man who's never been to Tenerife, never has been to these kind of events before? Why would you leave him at the strip and say that he would make his way back home? He doesn't know the area. And why is Lucy May pretending that she doesn't know AYUB, when AYUB clearly says that Lucy May was the first person to reach him when Jay went missing? So yes, Lucy May, AYUB, Rocky, Brandon, and Brady need to be called out. Definitely. That was the second page I read to you all. The first page says, I think he was trying to get to civilization rather than back to his hotel. He said on the phone to Brad he was taking a shortcut, so that does make sense. There wasn't any shortcut like the father said. The sea was a clear view in his head that he would have meant a beach, and beach would have meant somewhere to get a drink and charge his phone, and then so on. Doesn't make sense. There was a cafeteria right next to the mountains before you get in. And Afiria has a cafeteria there, a shop where you could have got water and drinks at the Airbnb. It's just so sad. I can't believe it still. I keep expecting a phone call with some mad typical J-like story. And though I was trying to get him to come back for ages, he was having none of it. And after I went home, Brad then tried to get him home, but he wasn't listening to him either. I think everyone has the impression we just left him. So basically, it's a duplicate. Lucy May, I personally believe you're lying. What were you doing in Malta with Tom Hilton in May? Did you all pre-plan this event? Allegedly. Just asking questions. May I sound like I'm pointing out to Lucy May, but yes, in a way I'm pointing to Lucy May because her stories don't make sense. Her timeline keeps changing. She did not say she knows AYUB. AYUB said that leave Lucy May alone. She was searching for him. She called me first, so he seemed like he was defending her. AYUB wasn't in the festival with Jay that night, but they linked up later, it seems like. Brad and Lucy, Brandon and Jay all met AYUB, not that night, a couple of nights while they were in Tenerife. I heard that on the news clip, the mainstream news. So I think they knew each other 2-3 days before. The question is, have they chilled with AYUB before that? But all those things would only be known by the family and the Spanish police. I wonder why the Spanish police ruled them all out. Is it because there's corruption there allegedly? Or is it because there was actually nothing to see or nothing to do with AYUB, Rocky, Brandon, Brad, and Lucy, which I personally don't believe. I believe this is foul play. I believe something happened to Jay. And I believe that's why they put the GoFundMe up immediately for $30,000. Was that the ransom amount? Allegedly? Let me know in the comments of what you'll think. And I repeat myself, the reason that I'm calling out True Crime 11. I keep getting confused between our two channels. One is a psychic reading, tarot channel, and the other one is True Crime 11 or 111. The reason I'm calling her out is because it's not right for the families. It's not right for the families, and it's not right for other innocent people that you're dragging into this case. That is defamation. You can't be doing that for clickbaits or for views. Joseph Morris got into trouble for bringing in fake news into the Idaho Moscow case, which we all remember clearly. He got some recordings that Ikemel called him out. Ikemel is a big YouTube creator. He researched it, he saw it, and he called him out because Joseph Morris brought some girls. Actually, basically, it was from a 48 hours episode of a young woman. It was a domestic violence case, unfortunately, who unalived her boyfriend. And when she did that, she kept on yelling like she was the victim, crying and screaming. I don't want to show that clip because it's really traumatizing. He took that clip, the yelling of that clip, or from somewhere in the internet. I believe it's that clip because I saw that clip. And he put it out and he said that was Maddie and Kaylee being attacked in the Ida Moscow case. That really shattered Maddie and Kaylee and the 4 victims' family. Since then, he hasn't been working in the Ida Moscow case because he did that for clickbait. And that's the truth. You can go and check that. It was a year ago. Let's not do this. Everyone's entitled to bring whatever they want on the table to help find these victims. But we can't, and we should not, and we should be mindful and have the compassion, decency, and respect to remember that these victims have families. They have families grieving, in bereavement, that are always under counseling, psychology, and such things. They're under therapy. So this is really disturbing. We need justice for these victims, but we have to do it in a respectful manner. And this is Huda London Mental Health and Crime Reaction channel under the fair use purpose. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a lovely week. Justice for Jay Slater, justice for the Ida Moscow victims, justice for all the victims in every country, in every place. And may justice be served for them. Condolence to the families. Goodbye.